your side. This is WSAV News 3 Today at 6.
Good morning, everyone. It is Tuesday, June 9th. I'm Kim Gusby.
And I'm Ben Katko. Thanks for joining us here on News 3 Today. WSAV is your local election headquarters. Polls in South Carolina will open up this morning for a high-stakes primary election.
Voters will help decide key races for governor, Congress, and several local offices across the Lowcountry. WSAV's Genevieve Lund is live in Beaufort County this morning with more on what you need to know before you head to the polls today. Genevieve, good morning.
Good morning. Beaufort County election officials say that the biggest challenge that voters will face today is finding the right polling place after more than a dozen polling locations have been changed since last election cycle. And with record-breaking turnout 7 times higher than last primary, officials are expecting many people to be walking through the doors to vote today. More than 14,000 people voted locally during the early voting period, a turnout election officials describe as unusually strong for a primary election. Crowded ballots are helping drive interest with competitive races for governor, South Carolina's 1st congressional district, and Beaufort County Sheriff all drawing attention. As voters head to the polls today, officials say one of the biggest issues may not be long lines, but confusion over polling locations.
Sure that they know where they are going. And the reason for that is because we've had 11 location changes just for this election that are going to be temporary locations. And then we've added, since the 2024 elections, 4 new locations.
State election officials say that nearly 280,000 ballots had already been casted across the state of South Carolina. And if no candidate earns a majority of the vote in certain races today, those contests will head to a runoff on June 23rd. South Carolina is an open primary state, so registered voters can choose to either vote Republican or Democrat on the ballot, regardless of party affiliation. And we're here at the May River Baptist Church, one of the new polling locations for Beaufort County. If you go and vote today, it opens at 7 a.m., closes at 7 p.m. And if you're in line before then, stay in line. You have the right to vote. Reporting here in Beaufort County, Genevieve Lund, WSAV News 3, on your side.
All right, Genevieve, thank you. Don't forget, early voting continues today through this Friday for Georgia's primary runoff. On the Republican side of the governor's ballot, healthcare executive Rick Jackson is running against Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones. In the primary, Jones got about 38% of the vote, while Jackson got about 34%. In the U.S. Senate race for the Republican nomination, current Congressman Mike Collins faces former Tennessee football head coach Derek Dooley. In the primary, Collins picked up about 41% of the vote. Dooley got about 30%.
In the 1st Congressional District Democratic runoff, Joyce Griggs is facing Amanda Hollowell. The district covers much of the coastal empire, including Chatham, Bryan, Effingham, Liberty, Long, and McIntosh counties. In the primary, Griggs received about 34% of the vote, while Hollowell received nearly 25%. It is 3 minutes after 6 o'clock. Well, 4, we're cheating just a little bit. You are taking a live look right now from our Savannah camp out over the Savannah River. Storm Team 3 meteorologist Alyssa Carsey's at the Weather Center with our weather on the 3s. Good morning, Alyssa.
Hey, good morning, Kim. If you do have plans to head down to the South Carolina Election Day polls today, there's really nothing stopping you weather-wise. We're just tracking another warm and humid day, already tracking that slight increase in humidity this morning as you're stepping out the door back into the 70s, and then 1 or 2 stray rain showers will be possible later on this afternoon, mainly for our far inland communities. Most of us will end up dodging the rain once again, with all of us having to deal with the heat and the humidity. 70 degrees right now in Savannah, stepping out the door to 72 in Hampton, and 71 degrees currently in Beaufort. Our high temperatures today, not terrible. They're actually right around average for this time of year, in the upper 80s to low 90s. So that's not too bad. But once you add in that southeast wind, bringing up all that humidity, it's going to feel more so like the low to mid 90s throughout the day today, and that was just going to continue to increase by the end of the week. Just take a look at our heat index forecast for the weekend, back into the triple digits. We're looking at that heat and humidity to continue to increase, but so does the chance of rain. So coming up in just around 10 minutes, we'll talk about that increased chance of rain as we head into early next week.
Thank you, Alyssa. We'll have results from South Carolina later today on air and online. Just visit WSAV.com/electionHQ. A Fort Stewart soldier is in custody this morning after reports of shots fired on base. Officials say it happened yesterday afternoon near Engineer Road. We're told the soldier later surrendered to authorities. The lockdown on base was lifted after about 10 minutes after officials said the threat was over. They say no one was hurt, but the investigation is ongoing. Of course, we'll bring you more information when it becomes available.
We're following some new developments after a devastating house fire on Tybee over the weekend as a local family picks up the pieces and holds on to hope that their missing dog may still be alive. A Tybee firefighter tells us that fire started in the backyard and took more than 5 hours to put out, with flames reigniting several times. Homeowner Bruce Simpson says he was inside watching TV when the fire started and rushed to get his dogs out. One made it out with him, but the other's still missing. Neighbors say the missing dog was last seen near a large marsh area, and the community is now helping to find it.
Out here doing a rescue mission, hoping to find Walker and bring him back alive. That's the goal.
They went over there yesterday and they seen him out there, but they couldn't catch him. So I'm going to go out there and see if I can get him. But he might come to me with the voice because he's a little skittish.
Simpson told WSAV that the community has meant everything to him. As of now, the cause of the fire is still unknown, but no one was injured.
New details on the deadly weekend shooting in Midway, as the Liberty County Sheriff's Office says it appears to have stemmed from a love triangle. According to investigators, it happened Saturday evening in the Angler's Edge area when 49-year-old Markel Washington arrived on a motorcycle to meet a woman he was planning to go out with. Deputies say as the woman walked to meet Washington, 54-year-old Jabbar Watson approached him. We're told the two men exchanged words before Watson allegedly pulled a handgun and fired. Investigators say Washington then shot back, hitting Watson multiple times. Authorities say Watson was eventually taken to a hospital where he was later pronounced dead. Liberty County deputies say Watson was the estranged boyfriend of the woman involved, and there have been minor incidents between the men before. Washington was detained at the scene and later released. Investigators say no charges are currently being pursued as the case remains under investigation.
New developments now in the Alec Murdaugh saga. A judge has now been assigned to preside over the murder case as it moves toward a retrial. Circuit Court Judge Deborah McCaslin was picked to oversee the case. Judge McCaslin was elected by the South Carolina General Assembly in 2020 to serve on Circuit Court Seat 13. No trial date has been set, but both sides say they do not plan to reach a settlement and expect that case to go forward.
School safety is in the spotlight in Savannah this week as educators, law enforcement, and emergency managers from across Georgia gather to focus on how to better prepare for problems on campus. Monday's conference brought together school districts and emergency officials to discuss prevention, response, and recovery. Leaders say that means continuing efforts to improve school safety through initiatives including up-to-date school mapping and mobile panic alert systems. State education officials say Georgia has made progress in school safety thanks to state investments, but challenges remain.
I think our next biggest challenge is probably looking at long-term recovery of how schools are really adjusting to situations that are occurring on their campuses and thinking through the mental health challenges.
The conference continues today at the Savannah Convention Center.
Happening today, we're kicking off the 4th annual Schools Out Summer Food Drive as we do our part to keep families fed during the summer break. Once again, we're teaming up with Second Harvest and Food Lion to fight rising food insecurity. Starting on News 3 today at 11 o'clock this morning, our team will be standing by at Food Lion on Durant Avenue to take those donations. We do have a list of the items we're collecting, as well as a full schedule on our website. Just visit WSAV.com/food drive.